Hey, Tiger fans, it's Tuesday, December 19th. We're at the Westport Flea Market. I'm Mark Fitzpatrick. Our guest speaker today, first time with the club, Annie Rogers, who covers the Royals for MLB.com, and she is a proud Mizzou grad, and we're happy to have her. Annie, a lot of news about the Royals in the last week with the free agent signings. Which one of those guys do you think will have the biggest effect going into the season?
I think the two starters they brought in, Seth Lugo and Michael Walker, are going to have a big impact, not just on the field and their innings and what they're able to do with their performance, but in the clubhouse too. Those veteran voices are really important when you've got a young clubhouse like the Royals do. So hopefully these young starters, the young pitchers in general, can kind of look to those guys, get some advice, see how it's done, and hopefully that helps their career moving forward as well. So those are two guys I'm really excited about.
Royals also signed Will Smith, who started his career at the Royals, has been a reliever on 3 World Championship teams. Had a little bit of a down year last year, but is he the guy that's going to be the closer, you think, going into the season?
I think they're going to give him the opportunity to take over that role. He's done it before. He's done it really well before, and obviously he's another veteran voice the bullpen guys can look after and kind of see how it's done. So I think to start the year, he's their closer, and we'll see how it kind of progresses.
Royals were to date spent the 5th most money of any team in baseball on free agency. Were you surprised at how transactional they were here the last part of the offseason?
Yeah. I mean, just their history. They don't
Right.
do that much. It's fun to see. It's fun to cover, just because they're going after something. You can tell that they're trying to change the way that baseball is played in Kansas City, and I think that's exciting. So yeah, it was surprising, but it's also it's also exciting to see the ownership kind of say, hey, let's spend some money, let's improve this team, both internally with our young core, but then also externally bringing in these guys.
Bobby Witt Jr. had a great season last year, did a lot of things that hadn't been done very often. Do you think the Royals are close to having him signed up long term?
They're definitely trying. They want to keep him in a Royals uniform for as long as they can. Bobby loves Kansas City too, which is always fun to have a player who loves playing for the city that he is a homegrown player with. So they're definitely trying. I think as we get closer to spring training, it's probably those conversations are gonna get a little bit deeper and prolong a little bit more. So we'll see what happens. The good news is he's still going to be a Royal for quite a few years. So if they don't get it done this offseason, they can still try moving forward.
Guy I want to ask you about who's going to be an impact back last season, got hurt earlier in the year, was Vinny Pasquantino. Is he healthy, ready to go? What do you think he'll do this year?
He's absolutely ready to go. We talked to him at the winter meetings in Nashville a couple weeks ago, and he was as excited as anyone to get back on the field. So he's swinging, he's healthy, he's taking ground balls at first, so he will be pretty much 100% once he hits the field in spring training, and I think he's about as ready as any player with the Royals. He missed the competition last year, and so he's ready to go.
I want to ask you a question came up, the TV situation in Major League Baseball. Diamond Sports files bankruptcy. What effect is this going to have on the Royals?
The Royals feel really confident, and they're very prepared to take over broadcast if it comes to that. But they feel good about where they're at as far as with all the uncertainty that other teams are facing. The Royals still feel confident in where they're at. So I think last year we saw the Padres MLB take over Padres broadcasts. Right. That could be coming from more teams as well this year, which I think more people will be able to watch games, which is always a good thing.
Annie, we talk a lot about the Royals, but you're a Mizzou grad. You covered the Tigers for the Columbia Missourian, the Maneater, and their various sports. What's your best memories, your days at Mizzou?
Oh, geez, I have so many. Mizzou was just absolutely a life-changing experience for me. I love my years as a Tiger. Covering Sophie Cunningham with the Mizzou women's basketball team is probably my favorite. I wrote a lot of features about her and her family and her impact. I wrote one story I remember just on her impact of little girls who came to Mizzou women's basketball games. That was really cool to see because, as a woman myself, being able to, lift those voices up and write those stories is really important. So that was an awesome story for me to write with about Sophie's impact just on the community.
Sophie's been a speaker for us, and she absolutely knocked them dead last year. I hope we can get her back sometime. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
Annie. Sorry. Annie Rogers, MLB.com. If you don't have that MLB.com app or on your computer, please get it. It's free. Download it. Annie does a great job covering the Royals. So thank you again for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
We will be off again till January 9th, and Gabe DeArmond from PowerMizzou will be our guest speaker there. So please join us at the flea market. And everybody out there, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. For more information on the club, go to kctigerclub.com.